Welcome to the DVD Archives. This is a series where I'm joined by Luke Reviews 76 and we take a look at what the Doctor Who DVD collection would have looked like in the past for both the UK and the US. We've covered 1999 to 2006 and you can check out those episodes in the playlist that's linked up above. Today we'll be taking a look at the DVDs that came out in 2007 to continue our ongoing competition to see who gets more DVDs released every single year. The score is currently 5 for Luke and 3 for me. So let's dive in today on the Doctor Who Guide. The best box set that you can buy for Doctor Who. Hey guys, welcome back to the Doctor Who Guide, where it's all about helping you and me grow our knowledge, collection, and connection with other Doctor Who fans. If you're new here and that sounds like something you'd be excited to do, well then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell, because we have new videos coming out every single Saturday and occasionally Wednesdays. Huge shout out to Luke Review 76 for his help with this series. We haven't been able to do this series for a while, but I'm excited to give you another episode now.
So, we're back. This is completely my fault. Nothing to do with Alex. It's going to get worse. We've lied before saying this is it, this is when we're going to get them done. This isn't. They'll get done eventually, but I'm in year 11 now. Big exam period.
All of the DVDs mentioned in this video will be linked in the description down below. If you use those links, you do support the channel because they're Amazon affiliate links and I get a small commission on whatever you buy within 24 hours after you click the link. And you can click it as many times as you like whenever you want. That's how that works, so thank you very much.
On the 27th of January, we got New Beginnings. Bit of a callback from the previous box set at the beginning. This is the New Beginnings, of course. This is probably a good jumping on point if you want to jump onto Classic Who in the 80s. This is probably the box set to start with. Why anyone would do that, I'm not sure. Pretty weak box set. Only one of note, I think, is Castrovalva. Keeper of Traken is pretty boring. Logopolis is pretty crap, except for the end, of course, which is possibly one of the greatest moments, if not the greatest moment in Doctor Who. And then Castrovalva, I think, probably just only got one decent episode and the rest is pretty mediocre. But hey, it's old Doctor Who, what more do you want?
I also want to mention that in the UK, the Dalek Collection box set came out this year. It contains the Dalek Invasion of Earth, Genesis of the Daleks, and Resurrection, Revelation, and Remembrance of the Daleks. Those aren't new releases, they're just essentially put in the set. The first DVD for the US was released on the 6th of March in 2007, and it was Doctor Who The Sontaran Experiment. Now this has since been released on Blu-ray, and so this release is really kind of very obsolete. Something to note is that the To Entertain logo is on this DVD, and it is on the majority of DVDs that are released after this point. There aren't a ton of bonus features on this DVD, but considering this was only a 2-part episode, they did have to put on some things like a documentary, just to at least give this DVD some more value.
On the 16th of April, we got Survival. There's the sticker that you get on the British one, seeing the final classic adventure, which is an odd selling point. But hey, I guess it would make... I probably would have brought it as a kid, but then again, I was one of the normal kid. Moving on, it's got some really good extras on this DVD, to be fair. For a 2007 DVD, it still stands up pretty well. There's a lot of stuff to do with what would have happened if it wasn't cancelled and why it got cancelled, and all the really good documentaries, so it's really worth picking up, that one.
On the 6th of March, we got Doctor Who The Invasion, which is the very first Doctor Who DVD in the US to be animated. It had episodes 1 and 4 animated. There's not a sticker here like you guys get in the UK, it's part of the DVD artwork. It's great to have a brilliant Cybermen story like The Invasion on DVD.
On the 4th of June, we have one of the pointless DVDs now, which is Robot, as we have had the Blu-ray box set, so this has become redundant now. I can see stuff like this going out of print if these Blu-ray box sets get standard releases, which is a shame really, but I think this has the most, what's the word? Insert word that means something that isn't. Just there. There you go, there's the word. Because I used to look at this in HMV and think, oh, there was loads of robots in the story, which I think you can see why. Obviously now I'm seeing this is meant to be the robot growing, but that's not clear at all, so But it's disappointing as a kid when I watched this and there was only the one. I thought, oh, there's going to be an army of robots, and there was wrong. But hey, it's still a pretty cool robot.
On the 5th of June, we saw Doctor Who The New Beginnings box set released. Now, you can get these 3 stories either in a box set or as 3 separate releases in the US. They're not exclusive to just the box set. There's a whole host of features on this box set.
On the 9th of July, we got Timelash. It's an interesting about this. It's the first cover by Lee Binding, I believe, on DVDs. Lee Binding is the one who does most of the artwork now. But now he did the Season 12 Blu-ray, he did Series 1 and 2 Steelbooks, he's done most of the DVDs of the later years, stuff like the Moon Base and the World stuff and the Web of Fear. Interesting, this is his first one. You can really tell how old the DVD is by its artwork, I think. I think something like that really screams this period. The really old stuff, when it's just literally 2 photos with no real effects on, that really screams older, 2001, 2003 sort of thing. This, I guess, would be, again, a special value edition. Because there is no special features. There's one small documentary The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I think I've watched that once. Basically, I think a bus driver or something is the writer of this episode, Glenn McCoy. On the 6th of August we got Time Flight in the Arc of Infinity. The Arc of Infinity was meant to be released the previous year, but there was a delay which was filled by the Mark of the Rani, which is why that was released, and this was released then with Time Flight. It's an interesting box set. Some would say arguably the worst box set ever. I disagree, purely for the fact that they are very underrated stories. In my opinion, Time Flight, you've got to look at it in the consensus they had no money, they have just done Earthshock, so they have nothing left. Eric Saywood even said that it shouldn't have been made on a shoestring budget with a half-done script, and I think it's very good considering those factors. In Arc of Infinity, I just don't really see the problem with it. Yes, Omega's different, but if they tried to recreate the same Omega, the argument would be he's not as good as the original. So the fact he's different now, people say he's not as good as the original. Well, it's different, it's not meant to be. You know, John Nathan Turner knew he was never going to beat that Omega, so he wanted to do his own take on it, is the way I see it. But hey, it's up to people what they think of it. But I think this is worth getting as a box, especially if you're a Peter Davison fan. Some real gems there, I think. But hey, I'm pretty much alone in that opinion. The 3rd of September we got the Time Warrior, who I think the only Herbie release of the year. Yeah. Time Warrior. Very good story. The Sontaran story for most people. Not for me. That's Invasion of Time, but you know, it is the classic Sontaran story, and rightly so.
Next up for the US is Doctor Who Survival. Survival came out on the 14th of August in 2007. Luke has already told you about the great bonus features that are on this set, but it's really cool to have this in the collection. We don't get a sticker.
On the 24th of September we got The Key to Time. This is the biggest box that you can get in terms of size. Look at all those DVDs. These are the slippiest DVDs I owned. When I brought this new, they wouldn't stand on a shelf, they just kept slipping out. They were that shiny and new, which is odd. I never understood why. It was like they'd been put in laminate pouches or something. Also, this isn't like made out of the papery stuff that the box sets are out of. It's proper, sort of got a bit of cardboard in it, which is nice. It makes it a nice sturdy box set. There is also a special edition you can get which opens out a bit. I think that was released in the same year, I'm not too sure. I believe the Geek's Handbag has a video on that somewhere. So imagine this was the same way up, but it was like this, and they had 2 parts on here which opened up, so one would go that side, one would go that side, and then you had the DVDs sort of stood up like that. Do you get what I mean? No, you don't, do you? Don't matter.
Robot came out on the 14th of August, 2007. I think we're starting to sync up schedules. This has also been released on the Blu-ray, so if you're into collecting Blu-rays, don't bother getting this. If you're going to still collect the DVDs, well, this is nice and cheap now.
On the 15th of October, we got Planet of Evil. Probably one of the weakest releases in this year. I really don't care for the story. I know it's season 13, which is meant to be the gem of a season. In my opinion, season 12 was better. But it's still okay. Again, quite scarce on the special features, but the commentary is very good on this, because I did listen to it.
Next up for the US is a 5th Doctor story that came out on the 5th of November. It's Doctor Who Time Flight. It's not the best 5th Doctor story, but I can still enjoy it. Let's see what the next release in the UK is.
On the 26th of November, we got Death of the Daleks. And then finally, we have possibly one of the most important releases for design-wise as a DVD. Death of the Daleks. The first one with the white to entertain logo. That logo is now on every single Doctor Who DVD that is released on the reverse side since the new BBC logo was introduced. This is now the archetype for pretty much the perfect classic Doctor Who DVD. If you look at most people's collections now, this is what the majority look like. This is what I call the turning point now. This is the end. This is the end of the old stuff this year. And then you move on to the stuff that has all the special features, all the bells and whistles, the stuff that doesn't get special editions, with a few exceptions. You know, this is the point now where the Doctor DVDs, I think, come into their own. So this is the turning point. And what a story to choose for the turning point. It's a really good story.
Next up, we have Doctor Who Arc of Infinity, which also came out on the 5th of November. We do get these 2 stories in the US, but they do not come in a Tegan Tales box set. Quite a few bonus features. It has CGI effects, which I quite adore, and also the 1983 Doctor Who Annual in PDF form. But you also get to see Colin Baker in this episode, who goes on to play the 6th Doctor. What? It's essentially like Peter Capaldi before the 12th Doctor. It's that equivalent in the classic series. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Another UK release was the Davros Collection, which came out in 2007. It was a very cool set. It not only includes all of the Davros stories, so Genesis of the Daleks, Destiny of the Daleks, Resurrection, Revelation, and Remembrance of the Daleks, but it also has I think 8 Big Finish audios. They'll be on the screen right now because I'm lazy currently and giving my future self more work. Let's see what the score is. I think it's safe to say that Luke has creamed me like corn. Anyway.
And of course that means the British have won this one, because, well, we've won because it's us, so who else would be winning? That doesn't work.
Well done, that's well deserved. I still hold out hope that we can come back from this. We're just gonna... This is the classic tortoise and the hare story, okay? You get the analogy. In any case, let's check out what the UK collection would have looked like in release order.
So here is the collection, and yeah, it's getting quite large now. We're on a second shelf. I think what is interesting is you can see that it's very colourful in this area here. We have mainly primary colours of yellow, blue and red, and then we start moving into darker stuff. Lighter and darker of each of the colours. And you know, it's still quite colourful, but I think if you look at the two areas, this one looks more like what you're used to with DVDs rather than this one. When you look at Pyramids of Mars, that's pretty much just a solid colour of purple. Same with the Aztecs, it's almost solid red, and Earthshock solid blue. It's very dark at the start, and we get colour, and then we go a bit more. When you look at Sontaran Experiment there, it's very dark. So, you know, I think, you know, you can sort of see what is happening here.
Okay, so we've now entered the 2-shelf zone. Let's see if that's the same for the US. Okay, so this is the Doctor Who DVD collection in 2006. This is what it looks like. We're also onto 2 shelves. 2007 finished up the line there and went along to here. So let's take a closer look. So we see initially the 4th Doctor taking a big lead with the Key to Time set. I don't yet have the cardboard box set for that. And then we see a nice fairly even smattering, some 1st and 2nd Doctor ones there. Now this year we didn't actually get any 1st or 3rd Doctor releases, or 6th Doctor releases. So that's pretty interesting. 4th and 5th Doctor really did the best this year. So they're sort of taking the lead. I'm pretty sure the 4th Doctor is in the lead. I'll just show the stats, because again, I'm lazy.
And here we have story order. Again, we can see, like I said, Tom Baker really gets heavily inputted in the early years. And then the rest are just pretty even. A lot of season 26. And everything's pretty even.
Let's see what this looks like in chronological order. We've got all but seasons 9 and 11, and I believe 23 represented. So most of the seasons are shown here. These are the names of the releases we have so far. We've got 4 out of 5 season 12 stories. All of season 16. Quite a few of season 19. Which will be coming out on Blu-ray. I want to give a huge shout out to Luke Reviews 76. Definitely check out his channel as well as a podcast that he's a part of called The Power of the Spearhead Experiment. The 2008 episode of this series will be linked up above and on screen as soon as it is available. Otherwise, you can catch up on all the previous episodes of the series, which cover 1999 to 2006. Enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!